Hey Brian, I heard you were playing Blue Eyes. I have a deck that is improved on your probably current version if you still play. After I kill the background music. No, no background music, not now. You're not needed. Anyways, let's go into the deck profile. We have 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, 3 Alexandrite Dragons, 1 Flame Veil Guard, 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal, 3 Black Dragon Colaspirants, 3 Heretic Dragon of Newt, 2 Eclipse Wyverns, 2 Carbamans, and 3 Maiden with Eyes of Blue. I call it Blue-Eyed Maiden because it sounds faggoty when you read it that way. Next we have 2 Ryoku, we have 2 Dragon Shrine, 1 Dark Hole, 2 Swing of Memories, 1 Forbidden Lance, 2 Silver's Cry. For the traps we have Mirror Force, 2 copies, 1 Torrential, 2 Dimensional Prisons, 2 Correct and Soul Castles, 2 Dark Bribes, and 1 Solemn Warning. To the extra deck we have 2 Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, 1 Magical Android, 1 Armada's Keeper of Boundaries, 1 Allied Justice Caster, 1 Thunder End Dragon, 2 Falcon Divine Dragon Knights, 1 Terrace Keeper of Genesis, 2 Queen Dragon Djinns, 1 Silent Honor Arc. Yeah, Shark is not too bad at 1, but better off at 2. Beelzebub, have it at 1. My Dargasto Emerald, and my Go-Go Cowboy. I considered a lot of changings, but yeah. Now we go into the side decks. We have 2 Whitestone Legends, 1 number 36 Ethereal Dragon, Dragoon. Next we have Heroic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis, number 61 Volcasaurus, another copy of number 101 Silent Arc, Larval Chain, Dagosta Emerald, 1 Black and White Wave, 2 Trade-In, 2 Cards of Connaissance. Also, we had a DNA surgery thing. Okay, now let's go explain what we have without choices in the side deck. Right now, we had the Whitestone Legend mixed with the Blue Eyes, with the Cards of Connaissance and Trade-In for a draw engine, but I realized it doesn't really matter. Who cares about the draw engine? Because as long as you don't draw into your normals, you're fine. What you want your normals for is just to send them from deck to the graveyard with the Dragon Shrine. So, let's go with the rest of the effects. So, and I mentioned there was a little lock that you could do with number 46, Ethereal Dragon Dragoon, and what was the other card? Oh yes, DNA Surgery. Its effect reads as such. Special summon Dragon type monster from your hand by attaching one materials if you control other monsters other than this card. That's not too bad. Next is you target one monster your opponent controls that's Dragon type and take control of it, so DNA Surgery, take control of your opponent's monsters. Next is Dragon type monsters your opponent controls cannot activate their effects until the end of their next turn. So in other words, you don't have to worry about their face-up monster effects until your next turn. That's not too bad for a bloody card that you can use for like locking your opponent in from it's like skill drain, but for more than one monster and for an entire turn. Wait, skill drain does the entire turn. Anyway, no skill drain, breakthrough skill. There we go. That's the one I was referencing. It's not too bad, but it's not worth the card spaces. But it's an interesting idea if you actually have Remnant in another deck to try, so I just thought I'd point it out. Heretic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. I thought of running this, but the problem is you got to send a lot of monsters by attributing to the grave, and they're not counted as sent. So, yeah, it wouldn't have worked with the Eclipse Wyvern for searching out this guy, and we'll explain how this works better off later on. And destroying cards on the field, I thought, okay, I don't really feel like I need to destroy cards on the field, apart from using Thunder and Dragon. So there's that, and I'll just stop caring from there. And continuing on from that, we have the Volcasaurus, which is another destruction card as an alternative for Terrace. I play Terrace just as a defensive measure, but this can also destroy face-up monsters and inflict damage, and if so, this card cannot attack directly. That's not too bad, because if they have more than one monster, they can attack that monster, and then it's like it didn't matter anyway. And we have Larval Chain to help set what we want on top of the deck if we wanted it, or send a certain card to the graveyard if we needed grave set. Dagosta Emerald, we actually run Dagosta Emerald just because it can bring back normal monsters from your graveyard without level targeting. Unlike Queen Dragon Djinn, it's level 5 or higher dragon normal monsters. Unfortunate, nope, it's just dragon type, level 5 or higher. And the only level 5 or higher dragon types we have are Blue Eyes White Dragon, another Blue Eyes White Dragon, and Red Eyes Darkness Metal. And the problem is their effects are negated, so it may as well be useless. and it cannot attack the turn that it is special summoned, so that makes it even worse. The only thing that makes it good for is if you have multiple of this to turn into something like this, or using this to turn into something like this. So you get the general idea, and that's why we had the Flameville Guard. He's a recyclable level 1 tuner that we use to make the Blue Eye Silver Dragons, the Android, the Extra, and the 5s and the 5s and the 9 anyways. We also had the Maiden of Blue Eyes to set that off, so that's just the starter. And what else have we got in there? Here's the talk about combinations. Nope, we don't have anything else on the extra deck, so we'll move back to the main deck. Okay, we'll start off with Eclipse Wyvern. So Eclipse Wyvern, if you really want to search something, so we have Kyberman, we have Blue Eyes in Hand, Eclipse Wyvern, and Colaspirant. We'd end up sending one of this, and we'd end up sending... Oh, I don't care. We'd have this card in the deck, most likely. So we'd send it Flameville Guard, Eclipse Wyvern banishes this card. Then Colaspirant banishes, but special summon itself, so banish Eclipse Wyvern, this adds to hand. So then we've got that, and we can normal summon Kyberman, make out the Blue Eyes White, and banish Colaspirant, and then bring back Flameville Guard, and then make Silver Azurized Dragon, and then get back the Blue Eyes. That's a combination. It's a good combo. It's a good combo. It works. It's pretty good. And then we have Heretic Dragon of Newt that can actually make speeding up rank 4s, or making other cards that might be depending on what else on the field. And you use cards like Ryoku, Forbidden Lance, Dragon Castle Souls. But I really thought that reborning cards in the grave, because I do much grave set and just moving cards around from the banish and that, was a better option. So yeah. And the thing is, it'll special summon only Dragon type normal monsters, giving you a lot more limitations. So, well, I'm going to show off a quick video of me when I was testing this deck against my older brother against his Bells, and it went for a while. There's a couple of matches. I don't know which one I set. There was about 4 matches. So, yeah. Now, I've already mentioned about the draw engine, the black and white wave as a side tack. Okay, what else is there to mention? Well, there's no reason to mention other Cowboy other than making a 25 beat stick and it can beat anything that's below, well, yeah. So if it's 3,000, or, yeah, 3,000 and lower, it'll make it a crasher. And it's just a crash for 3,000 and lower. And if it's, if it's actually less than 3,000, it won't crash. It'll actually beat it. Because it'll bring it up to 25 and bring that monster down to 24. But that's beside the point. Anyways, now we also have the Swings of Memories, because that allow us to bring back normal monsters. Same thing with Silver's Cry. Most of the cards, all the normal monsters are dragons, so who cares? And it's a quick play card. It comes in handy sometimes, so I can hold this in hand. I don't have to worry about it being MST'd when I can't activate it. And I don't have to worry about being forced to activate it. So that's one thing why I have that. And I have the Swing of Memories as well, so I normally use that for the Flameville Guard. And or something else, and I just go Queen Dragon Dajin, bring back Blue Eyes, make Azure Eyes, etc. And it's just, that's the whole thing. The whole deck is to speedily make Azure Eyes and then set out some attack and defensive plays. So now that you know what the deck does, and oh well, Eclipse Wyvern, what does it do in the deck? Other than it being a banish fodder for this guy, it actually is a search that is actually useful. It can help you get out this to your hand when you have Cardman. It can help you get this to your hand when you don't have Cardman and you just want to have it in the hand. And it's pretty good. It's a good card advantage. It's kind of like the Heretic Dragon Atum with this card. And if you get this card in the hand, Heretic Dragon Atum is useless for the Heretics as an example. So let's get into putting the volume back on. And we'll set the replay. Which one was it? There we go. Blue-Eyed Shark. That was the name of it. I'll point out the decks that was being played. See, this is my brother's deck. My brother was playing a... Well, you already know what it is. It's Yubel, if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! So I started off by playing that, sending my... As I mentioned before, sent my Eclipse Wyvern and my Flameville Guard, sent this, summoned this, and I ended my turn. So I graveset it and got the cards I needed. So I'll be able to banish that card and add that card to my hand, which is what I did this turn. Banish, draw, add, end. I already knew what he would set face down. It would have been either a Stygian Troller or a Mystic Tomato. And this is probably the bit where he decides to draw into Yubel. But I like, okay, I'm going to go into Evil Swarm, Extinction Knights, and Beelzebub. So he goes, since I have a monster there, he's going to crash. Now I destroy everything, and now I get to bring back my Eclipse Wyvern. And then I banish this guy. Then he sends that to the grave, and then I have my Blue Eyes banished out of my deck. Unfortunately, you cannot not choose to activate the effect of Eclipse Wyvern. Unfortunately, so now I get the effect going here. Bring out a normal monster, banish it. Now I get Eclipse Wyvern, and then I'm just like, you know, fuck it, you can't do much. I'm just going to go into an OTK and play without Blue Eyes. I then go Dagusta Emerald, and then return a shitload of cards to my deck. Return the Beelzebub, return the freaking Eclipse Wyverns, and I lose my Blue Eyes. He sets Limit Reverse, but he couldn't do anything, unfortunately. Ooh, you know, he Yubels. And I bring back this. Get second form. Make Colaspirant. Bring back this guy. Make Shark, because this is where he screwed up. I knew he would have done something like that, and I needed to get out, because he left in attack mode. Yeah, and it was a special, and I was trying to get this guy. So it's like, how am I going to get this guy? And I like, okay, I have to Dark Hole here. I cannot manage to make a rank 4 with what I had on the field. So he was just thinking, ah! And it's just like, nah, you kind of done goofed. You realize I always play a Shark Knight. You know it. I told you about the damn card, and he's like, oh. How did you not know it was in your my extra deck? It's a standard. And you'd think he would have put it in defense mode because... Oh, and like, no, he wouldn't, because then he wouldn't have got the effect of me taking the damage if I was to attack it was drawn into a monster later on. But then he would have got ultimate form and that wouldn't have mattered. And then it just would have been a deck thing and I could just sit there until, yeah, he would have been able to poke for damage. That's what he should have done as a Yubel player, but he done goofed. And, ta-da! The power of Blue Eyes White fucking Dragon. Oh wait, I forgot there was another video that I had against a person who was Quasar. He actually had a lot of advantage, but he derped. So let's go and show off the derp. The Quasar derp, as I called it. Blue-eyed Quasar derp, I named the game. Okay, so what he's got here is something pretty interesting. What you'd probably do is start off with the Quick Draw Synchron, pitch the Level Eater, and then make the first 5. Then you tuning and then hope to get into a 2 in the graveyard. And oh my god, he got the card he needed. And he draws adds Unknown Synchron. Why would you add Unknown Synchron? Seriously. Dude, if I was you, I wouldn't make a play. I'd probably just set the Synchron Explorer or summon the Junk Synchron and wait for it to die. And then go and do stuff. But, who cares? He derps. So, I go... This is when I still played the draw engine. So, I first go and pitch that. And now I go do this. He's gonna... It still doesn't matter. Why would you waste a Veiler? Oh, I just want the Veiler in the grave. Yes. That's right. So that's really not going to help you. Now... Alright, I can't blame him for making that mistake. See, what he should have done was basically make that card first. This is where he fucked up. He realized that he should have made the quick draw cards first. With the quick draws, he should have used that and recycled, okay, make 5, make 5, then, yeah. But then he would have been left 1 level short anyway. So he would have been able to make 5, 5. Wait a minute, yeah, let's have a look at that object. We'll pause the video and then I'll come back to you on that when I do the math. Yeah, he would have only been able to make an 11. But 11s aren't really that bad. You could have made a Star Eat out of that play if you actually considered it, or making a 10s. Because now we can look at his deck. Okay, so you didn't consider putting 10s in it, did you? kind of a derp move, but you could have drew into some stuff from all that extra synchro summoning, and you might have actually drew into something else. That would have been useful. Because what he does, and he probably doesn't even play a Jester Confid or probably a Turbo Booster. There's a lot of cards that you can actually run in the deck that are actually a special summon as soon as you normal summon. And I don't think he actually used up his normal summon. If he didn't, well then, he could have probably went and gone, okay, I'm going to grab Synchro on Explorer, and then just junk it. In effect. Yeah. Unfortunately. So I just basically summon that, and he gone loses. This is where he fucks up. And plus, the thing is, where he screwed up also is he had no Quillbolt Hedgehogs. You never try to make a Quasar play without getting a Quillbolt Hedgehog, at least one of them in the grave. You cannot make it without it. That's one thing where he done goofed. His Pot of Duplicity surprising does set up something. And he does manage to make part of a Quasar. He can make a 7 and he could have made a Black Rose Bomb during my turn. At that point, you'd think he would have. He had the Black Rose Bomb, he could have just like, okay, main phase 2, blow up all your card advantage completely. But nope, he wanted to make Quasar and he thought, okay, what could a Blue Eyes deck be running his back row? A fucking lot. Forbidden Lance, Mirror Force, Dark Bribe, Solemn Warning. I Solemn Warning his Quasar when he pulls it out. I let him make Quasar just so I can Solemn Warning it. Just to be extra salty. Well, make him extra salty. Brings this, bang. And he's like, yeah, let's totally go do that. Solemn Warning, bitches. Dun-dun-dun-dun. And now he has to go do this and make that. Unfortunately. And this is where he loses. I Forbidden Lance this guy, target, bring out Blue Eyes. Then I overlay for Queen Dragon de Jin, normal summon, go and do that. Bring that out back. Attack, attack, and attack. Nah, I'll leave him one turn just for the trolls. Just to show off some really cool shenanigans, so we'll pause and swap. Before I get this draw. White Stone of Legend, bring this back. Rank this. Then make another that. Now I get the effect of this. I haven't done that, so I'm going to bring this back. Just for the trolls. You could only destroy that card, so he knew what he was doing to a degree. And I just OTK him at this point. That's just another way of what the Blue Eyes deck does. And now that I think I showed Bryan off the effects of Blue Eyes White Dragon, I think I can end the video there. Omega306 signing off. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope it helps. And this deck is expensive, so I don't recommend playing it. Well, maybe not some of the cards. Depending on what your collection already has, it may be expensive, it may not be expensive. But the cards in the extra deck are really always expensive. And plus, the Red Eyes Darkness Metal is not easy to get your hands on for a cheap price. So, you have been warned. And plus, some of the traps and the spells, the necessities in the deck really are not easy to get. Like, especially the double Ryoku that I play. Yeah. Now, it's Omega306, signing off. And hope you enjoyed the video. Oh, my neck.